numbers out of Netflix, and the market likes what they've reported. There was growth of 5.1 million in streaming paid customers. It actually was down sharply from the same period a year ago. However, it was higher than the estimate. The estimate was only 4.5 million. Profit beat expectations, 540. It was less than $4 a year ago, and it also came in about 30 cents ahead of expectations. So Netflix stock up in the aftermarket, up around 5%. Let's get more from Simone Foxman of Bloomberg. Simone, it looks like they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of folks who thought that the dramatic revenue growth that Netflix had seen for the last couple of years was likely to hit a wall, because a lot of that growth had been accomplished through things like password sharing, prohibitions, as well as creating new memberships that were ad-sponsored but a little less expensive. But what Netflix seems to be showing here is 15% year-on-year revenue growth, operating margins that are well better than last year and ahead of expectations, and as you said, subscriber numbers that are pretty much meeting expectations across the board. I think the bull case had been coming into these earnings that if Netflix really wanted to continue this kind of record growth, it was going to have to raise prices. But if, frankly, the street is pretty happy with the number of new subscribers that they're seeing overall, maybe that's less the case, and then you have to worry less about potentially losing people on the bottom end.
And their guidance okay as well. Their forecast for the fourth quarter, the stock up around 5%. They see profit of 423. You may have touched on this, I'm sorry. The estimate was 390 for the current quarter, and they see revenue in line with what's expected. So it is interesting. The stock not quite at a record high, but it is pretty well doubled in the past year.
Yeah, free cash flow looking ahead for the year as well, coming in a little bit higher than expected. Sees this sort of revenue growth continuing, 15%. It had seen actually slightly less than that, 14 to 15% for the full year. And of course, we're seeing these gains in the aftermarket as investors seem to be getting much more comfortable with these numbers. Shares now up for close to 4.5%. They'd lost a little bit of steam coming into these results this week. So we're looking at year-to-date gains of now 41%.
There's something just blew me away. Their most popular show as of October 13th, based on the first 90 days of viewing, was Wednesday. That was that show, that comedy based on Wednesday Addams. Of course, she's one of the Addams family. And Jenny Ortega is the star of that show. That was their biggest show based on 3 months viewership. Then it was Stranger Things 4, and then it was the Jeffrey Dahmer story. So people like dark stuff, I guess, sometimes. Anyway.
I guess a bit of variety there, though.
That's right. I saw that Wednesday show.
What people are watching.
It was funny, but didn't do